What's up, everybody? Thought I'd get my 2 cents while this stuff is still hot. Oh, man. Busy, busy, busy. Just going through a lot of emotions, a lot of movements. Seeing what's going on. Let's see who's up in this piece. Hopefully, somebody's coming through. But I'll say this: it's going to be very interesting, very soon. Yes, 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 yes. I'm probably one of many who has an idea what the hell's going on, but I'm starting to think that it's like open season to blame a black guy for something. The women are ratchet, blame the men. The women are having babies out of wedlock, blame the men. You can't say the men are the leaders of the community, but then talk about no man can tell me what to do. You have to pick a struggle somehow. You have to pick a struggle some way. And unfortunately, in the black community, we don't like to take responsibility. We don't like accountability. And the good doctor has done it again. The good doctor has put the blame on black men when he's too damn intelligent to go in here and listen to some trash shit like this. I'm sorry. I don't see the clarity, I don't see the ingenuity, I don't even see the intellect in some of the statements he made. Especially a person who has 6 degrees as he claims. I'm pretty sure that's a valid claim and statement. So if you have 6 degrees, I'm pretty sure you know how to do basic research, basic history. This subject matter should not elude you. And you know good and goddamn well that anything less would be uncivilized and very disingenuous towards brothers. You know that. But like everybody else, you don't care. You're going to talk to who has the dollar signs of the community. You're going to buck dance for the women. And it's goddamn shameful, too. I can understand if people are making false claims, but you're giving up an excuse For women who chose their plight, women who said they didn't need their man, a lot of women who chose single motherhood. So, what's the difference now? I want you to tell me what's the difference. It's always easy to kick a black man down, even though you disguise it in ways to say you're trying to raise them up. Guys like you, I don't get. I kind of do, but I don't. Maybe it's the fact that I really don't want to realize it. Maybe it's the fact that men like you who refuse constantly to hear black men and their issues with their women out. And I'm pretty sure you're too smart to know that there's an issue. You're too smart and too connected to the community to know that we have some serious issues. But to blame the men who had nothing to do with their plight is something else. It's even a new low for you. There's a reason why teenage pregnancy went down significantly because they saw how hard and how difficult it was to raise a child on your damn own. When you have black men who are the most responsible men in America, you can't even find black men's sperm in the sperm bank. That's how responsible they are. What does that tell you? That's better. Shout out to Anubis. Woo! My man Indigo Flow said he has all the intellect in the world making statements like that. He has little to no credibility. You can't trust people who pander to that degree. And I really want to tell you this, man. One thing that gets under my skin is incredibly intelligent people making very disingenuous statements like this. So you're telling me that young black guy graduated from high school from a 3.8 to a 4.0, going to college. If he does have sex, he's doing it responsibly. He's wrapping it up. He has a responsibility to take care of a woman who rejected a guy like him, had a baby by a nifnon and a ne'er-do-well. What is his reward? Shouldn't he be with a woman with no kids who treats him well and respects him? Hit the Cash App. Got to support the Cigar and Cognac Fund, ladies and gentlemen. Support the Cigar and Cognac Fund. I'm going to say this. What's up, Burn? What's up, Iron Wolf? Little Rock? Of course, my boy Indigo. See, men like the good Dr. Umar are the reason why a lot of brothers kind of have a side eye towards the intelligentsia. Sorry for the interruption, folks. But like I said, men like Dr. Umar are the reason why so many young black men have a side eye towards the intelligentsia. It's because you're supposed to be the learned of us, the most studied, holding the most esteem, reaching heights the average black man will never see. And to sit there and tell a bold faced lie, a historical lie, that black men are the leaders of their community. What you just did is tell every young black man from the age of 16 to 25, older black men like myself, I'm not old, but I'm older, that we ain't shit. We are not to be trusted. We do not have their best interests at heart. Now, you heard me countless times say if you have a good woman, you should be with that woman. But yet, more than not, through the eyes of many different men and women, that we have a distinct issue within our community. Very distinct. And the saddest part about it is that young black men who already have it hard out here in today's world are looking for you for guidance, are looking for you for experience. And the only thing you give them back is a bold faced lie telling them that everything you've done to better your life is for naught because you didn't pick some single mother out there who made poor decisions for herself And because you did not go into the annals and go into the destructive enclaves of single motherhood and rescue her, your efforts profit you nothingness. Shout out to Tan, long-time listener. What's up, Tan? Congratulations on the marriage. Told you. Tan, thank you for being here, Tan. How many years have you listened to me, Tan? When you told me about your lady, now your wife, what did I say? You got a good one, you better keep her. Did I not say this? Did I not say this? See, they don't take the clips of the Black Manosphere when we say that's the type of woman you need to be with. A woman who's on the level, who fits your program, who's loving, who's the great advisor, who knows how to not be a partner but a wife. You won't clip those, will you? Detractors. And the Go Flow said, as historical as fuck when somebody's going to press him on backing up his claims on something other than anecdotal rhetoric. 3 years. 3 years. And I told him, Zulu, Namer, we got the whole cast. Please click the like button. If you're not subscribed, please do. Share this with your friends. And if you feel inclined and it touches your soul, please donate to the Super Chat or the Cash App. Back to what I was saying. This type of rhetoric and behavior is the reason why younger Black men have such disdain for the older ones, because you don't keep shit on the level. You just don't. You don't keep it on the level. You can't trust men like this because you have such ulterior motives. It's not so much of bringing the Black family together. It's about absorbing that Black female dollar. There, I said it. There, I said it. I wish you would just be honest about this. Stop perpetrating like you're for the entire community when you're not. You can criticize Kevin Samuels all you want, Dr. Umar. But the one thing you can say, he was not a liar. He was not trying to disenfranchise women. He was actually trying to put them on the level. He was giving them game, but some people are just too damn stupid to be dumb. Some people are just not coachable. You want us to be 1950s men when you can be 21st century women. Something does not equate. No sense does it ever make. You wonder why people judge you about your school every single time you get on an interview. Because everybody knows the rule of business. You start small, dream big. Because you're such an egotist, on the verge of megalomaniac, that your ego is goddamn getting in the way of your intellect. And I agree with BGS because I've heard the man speak for years. Actually seen him in person twice, spoke to him twice in person. When it comes to child psychology, there's not but probably 3 motherfuckers on the face of the earth who can touch him. And even they have to bow down to that shit when it comes to him. When you speak on such things, when it comes to social issues that's plaguing the black community, you lose us, pal. You lose us. What's up, AB? Another fellow content creator. What's up, Brona76? Namer said, who in their right mind should take anything that Dr. Umar Johnson says seriously, knowing full well they are being facetious and disingenuous? See, this is the fact that everybody has an issue with the black manosphere, but not anybody can point out what we actually do incorrectly. There's a big farce going around, and not only the YouTube streets, but the real life streets, that black men have failed the community. I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, I'm Oliver Queen. This is Star City. And black women, you failed the community. Is it all of you? No, but it's a damn good amount of you. Do we have some men who failed the community? You sure as shit and it sure as rain. But here's the issue. Is that a woman can choose who lives and who comes into this world, who's born and who's not, whether legally or illegally. If you don't get pregnant by 30 dudes you slept with, but that one dude you do, why him? For so many years, I've heard women say, my body, my choice. Well, God damn it, your fault, your consequence. And this isn't no hate speech. This is just the truth. How many mothers apologize to their kids and saying, I apologize because I should have picked a better father for you, knowing that that will psychologically damage a child in some way, some fashion? Umar Perry, what's up? Tan said, too many of them have the ideology of her and kids. Your black ass is just a resource. Facts. This is what I would say if I got a chance to speak to him one-on-one while the cameras are rolling. First and foremost, take black men out the equation, good doctor. Do we see bits of women being masculine and vicious and brutal and fighting, and there's no black men around? As a matter of fact, lately in the last 5 years, you see more videos of black females fighting than black men. You see more issues with females being violent towards children than black men. How many black men would rather see their children and not the mother if they had a choice? If you took a black man and you strolled them up to the abortion clinic and they said, hey, you could either have the mother or the child, guess how many black men will take the child? See, good doctor, you don't tell the entire Hollywood true story about what black fathers go through. The reason why she chose to raise the child by herself is just that. It's a goddamn choice. We're not going to sit here and twiddle our thumbs and fucking twick our dicks about something that is obvious. When I could even pull up FBI statistics to tell you the number one aggressor in domestic violence, since you brought up domestic violence, good doctor, 70% of the aggressors are women. The most violent relationships we have are lesbian relationships. How many times have brothers tried to walk out the door and the woman will block his exit? How many times have people said and laughed at a woman beating a guy upside his head, but as soon as he pushes her away to defend himself, to get away from her, why you put your hands on her? Thank you, Tan. Black women hate leadership. This is what I need to hear. And I would love somebody give them the message. I don't give a shit. Why don't you blame the person who made the choice of who the baby came or if they don't come? If she can be the town whore and sleep with 100 men and never get pregnant, but Mr. 101, she gets pregnant. Why? Because she made a choice. You cannot have 33 different type of contraceptives. And say it's a mistake. See, I'll take that. Let's say if I do take that black men were the leaders of the community, which we know they're not, but let's say I take that. Let's say black men should have put the heavy hand of authority and told our women no. Do black women respect the authority of black men? In order for leadership to occur, how many times have I told you? The first rule of protection is what? Say it with me now, class. I want somebody to tell me. For years, what did I say the first rule of protection was? What's the first rule of protection? I'm going to wait for the chat. What's the first rule of protection? Thank you. Obedience. Obey my commands. And this is another factoid that I would love to say to the good doctor. If black men are the leaders of the community, if we are the captains of the ship, the generals of the army, the admirals of the fleet, the commandant of the Marine Corps, then any leader has the authority to reward and punish. And do black men have that ability to do that to black women? It's not awareness, buddy. It's obedience. The first rule of protection is obedience. How in the fuck can I protect you if you're not listening to me? If your child is disobedient, how can you fully protect your child? Riddle me that one, black man. How? If I'm the leader of this community, that means I can reward and punish with no impunity. My word is law. Forever blessed that I'm understanding this queen shit, Umar, on how can you be a queen without a king establishing her? You can't. You can't. The only way a woman in history can make a king if she births one, and that's it. Even Queen Elizabeth, God rest her soul, did not make her husband the king when she married him. Even though she was married prior to being the queen, he didn't become the king. His name was Prince Philip, the royal consort, the nigga who fucks the queen. Notice when Camilla married Charles and Charles ascended to the throne, she became Queen Camilla. Oh, yeah, that's another one, Detroit 313. Queens don't make bastards. Never seen a queendom, but I sure seen a lot of kingdoms. And then you want brothers. You want brothers to take their time efforts to a bunch of kids who may or may not respect them. I have nothing wrong. I think it's nothing wrong with men who volunteer their time to the next young men. But I don't think that black men should have to go out of their way to do it. Oh, good question, T. Riddler. Charles, you already coach and work with boys. Why are you opposed to marrying and cooperating with a woman who has a child? Because every man has a right to actually start a family without having to be second fiddle. That's why. Do you want me to say it again? Every man has a right not to be second fiddle. There are certain consequences that you should have. When you don't choose right, when you don't decide right, there's consequences you pay. Thank you for the $5 holla, but I'm going to finish what I'm saying. There are certain consequences that you should pay. Yeah, but we're talking about you. Yeah, there are certain consequences you should pay. I have a child. The reason why is because a lot of women do not raise their children to the same extent as men. And I'm speaking personally about me. I haven't seen one woman that raised her child to the same extent, with the exception of maybe what, three women that I've met personally, raised their child to be cooperating and contributing members of society. Every man has a decision to say yes, no, maybe so. We're talking about me, right? Why am I against it? We're going to be opposed to marrying women with a child. When I dealt with women with children, guess what happened? They didn't raise their children properly. And guess who? And guess who's fucking going to be exposed to that shit? Your child and you. Oh, trust me, when I do my Patreon, I'll tell the E Hollywood story of why I'm fucking opposed to it. Number one, a lot of mothers do not pay specific time to raise their children properly. There's so many fucking issues when historically, when raised by a single mother only, that children have compared to being raised by a father or a two-parent household. It's a fucking burden. Do I need to go even further or in depth into that shit? Yes, I'm saying it. It's a fucking burden. Too many women that I know whose sons have dropped out of school when for me, it was not an option. You damn sure know for my son, that's not a fucking option. And I'm going to tell you, been there, done that, dated women with kids and all this other shit. Guess what? If a woman wants kids with me, that kid better be on their way out the door or out of high school. No, 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 no. Because let me put it to you this way: if you date a woman that has a kid that's 4 or 5, you get married. Think about it. The chick Eva who married the millionaire, billionaire businessman, whatever the fuck his name is, guess what happened? She divorced him. She wants child support for the 2 kids they created in their union, and the other older kid that I guess he adopted or raised that wasn't biologically his. You think for one fucking reason you're going to be in a relationship with a woman and you're not going to help take care of kids. See, we need to be truthful of why I'm against it. See, there's one thing about coaching and mentoring, but there's another of taking full responsibility, full care of a child, and you had no pleasure or the benefits of making it. Because let's say you help that child and that child goes to the NBA or NFL. Look what Zion, speaking of Zion, stupid ass, look what Zion did when he was drafted. Did he thank his stepfather who taught him the game? No, he thanked his mother. And this is the reason why nobody ever takes black men seriously. See, what you're gonna do is make me cuss you out. See, I believe that Anton, who's married, should stay in a married man's place. Just like I told him on, what's the guy's name? The lawyer? I don't know why my memory is skipping me right now. Just like I told him then. Well, I think guys like you are ruining the community. How the fuck am I ruining the community if my son's with me? Because best believe, if he gets divorced from his wife, guess who's going to take the kids? Guess who's going to file for child support? Not that I wish ill will. See, here's the problem with that. I have a child. What benefit do I get for investing in another young person's future when I have my own child to invest in? See, this is the part when people speak on shit that they have no experience in. Not the lead attorney, Dennis Sperling. That's the name, Dennis Sperling. When I told him personally, first of all, when does my responsibility to my son stop, whether if I married his mother or not? Because even if I'm not there, this is the difference between a mother and a father. And I want you to all record what the fuck I'm about to say. A child can be a jailbird failure. Mama did all she could, daddy wasn't there. Whether that child does well or is a failure, the father is always going to be to blame when there's a negative connotation towards that child. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. See, here's the problem. I'm not into rescuing people who don't want to be rescued. You better have a damn good reason why you didn't marry that man you had a baby by. I don't give a fuck. Let's be very chauvinistic for a minute. I don't care if the man came in you. I don't care if he bust 100 nuts. You still have the responsibility to decide that the child comes or does not come into the world. Boom, 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 boom. But here's the problem. When men take up the mantle, men are always expected to lead people out of danger, to fight wars. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being a man who has to probably lay down his life to protect women and children. But here's the issue that we're going through in the modern day. There was an amount of respect that was incalculable for men by women and children because they knew that men had to do the dirty work to keep them safe. See, here's the fucked up part, and I'm glad Namer said it. Unless that child takes my name, and this is what I would say if I even married a child, a chick, and all that shit, that child carries my name. I'd be damned you go into graduation, you go get a fucking doctorate, you go to the NFL, you go in fucking space as an astronaut, and you think the motherfucker who was never there and that nigga gets to show up? Bullshit. How many bitches would give the child to the man their last name? Oh, you want to keep that other nigga that's in jail, rotting in jail, and make sure his legacy good. See, what we really failed to do is this. You damn right we all can't be Bob Shamrock. Notice, Ken carries Bob's name. Ken Shamrock's real name is Ken Kilpatrick. If you really want that motherfucker has all rights to change that child's name. He has all rights to discipline that child up to corporal punishment. He has all, when it comes to tax time, he should be the one reaping the benefits. If we're going to play that bullshit, Dr. Umar, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm giving y'all some good game. I ain't get a cash app yet. Wait a minute. everybody hear me? Give me a woo if you can hear me. Give me a woo if you can hear me. I'm going to answer this question very vividly. In order for you to have a community, what about now? Can you hear me? Now, we're going to get it. We're going to get it in. Before we have a community, before we invest in any children, do I have a cooperative woman? Are we getting cooperative women in our community? See, nobody talks about this shit. It's fucking hard. Nobody ever talks about this shit. Okay? Because really, if that child is supposed to be invested in, I'm going to adopt that child and I carry the child on my taxes. How about them apples? How about everything you get for that child as a benefit, as a dependent? Each time I go to work, I get more money because that's my child. You want to play fair? Stop putting the benefit totally in their hands. How many women who says we need to raise these children and we need to help them, then guess what? That motherfucker needs to be on my taxes. I need the money. You want me to invest? Well, let me get the money to put into the investment. Woo! What has Steve Harvey gained from adopting Lori Harvey? His name and his product being number one, he's probably her fucking manager. Number two, more resources and more money towards the Harvey name. That's why. See, we're going to get into this shit real hot and heavy. You want me to come back and be benevolent to my community? When is my community going to be benevolent and bowing the knee to me? Because if you need my help, I'm the wheeler, I'm the dealer, I'm the styler, I'm the motherfucking profiler. If you tell me that the community needs me, then the community better pay me. As the song says, the community need to start paying its men like it's the 1st and the 15th. Because there's only two rules you got to follow. Okay? Just two. Either I lead or I leave. Shout out to LAPD SWAT. Woo! Salute, Commander. His views coincide with those of the liberal. We must address the silent 64,000-pound monster in the room, the lib. Cut the supply line. Shut up. You already take care of the youth. I give the youth back to their parents. I give them guidance. Don't take care of them. I give them guidance. I don't take care of them. See, what I do was different. Is that I give him a fighting chance. I'm not what you call marrying everybody's mother. I'm a guide. You ask me a question, Normally, I'm not going to give you a direct answer if you're a young man. This is what happens. I teach you how to make a decision, which is something we don't get taught by our mothers in the black community because they don't want to teach you how to become a man who can stand on their own two damn feet. They want to keep you subservient and docile so you could be the pit bull that attacks for them. I can train you, but guess what? The master does not seek the student. It's the student that comes seeks the master. Okay? It's the student. See, this is the problem that Dr. Umar has never spoke of. The men don't go searching for the people who want to learn. It's the student who goes seeking the master to be under their tutelage. Tutelage. Sorry. That's the rule. That's the rule. We don't go seeking out the student. No. Motherfucker, you want to learn what the fuck I know. And because you want to learn what the fuck I know, humble the fuck up. Because you got to, when you see these kids, they got too much of their mother in them. Too much feminine energy and indoctrination. And I'm supposed to move mountains and take this Herculean task of making your boy into a man when you spent the last 10 years making him into a bitch. See, you never have to ask white men this shit, do you? Will this shit fall for Asian men? Arabic men? Hell no. But a black man gotta go seek out. Fuck no. You know where the good men are. The same niggas you didn't want to fuck with. The same niggas you put down. Yeah, go find them. Oh, they're not gonna let you in that gated community with your raggedy ass. You ain't shit, son. But see, here's the biggest problem. When black men, and shout out to Toya for the let me get down to this. Shout out to Toya. Shout out. Lead or leave 2023. Sing with me now. Whoa! Either I need to put that hashtag leave or leave. That's the first thing I would tell Umar. Either I lead or I leave. I'll leave this bitch a smoking crater and not look back. Shit. Let me be with Lot in Genesis when he told his wife. And I'm gonna tell you what's funny, right? What's very hilarious to me is that the story of Lot, when he left Sodom and Gomorrah, a community, would you say, give me 15 holy people. Give me 10. Give me 5. You know what, Lord? I can't find 2. Take your family the hell out of the city because we're going to rock and roll. We're going to come in there and we're going to fuck shit up. And see, this is black women in our community, the overwhelming majority of them. You give them a command to protect them and save their life because they hold back such wickedness, debauchery. They gotta look back because they gotta look at that hot girl summer and they turn to a pillar of salt. Because she loved that wickedness so much, she turned her ass into a condiment. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. She held so dear to her heart the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah that she was willing to turn her own self into a goddamn food condiment. Looking back, how hard was it to obey what your husband said? We're running out of here. We're getting the fuck out of here. Whatever you do not look back at the city while God's destroying it. Okay, but I love this life. And that's the reason why the community will not. Because so many of these chicks, once they know they got a helping hand, they're going to look back and want to go back to Sodom and Gomorrah. Shout out to Detroit 313. Black people in America will blame astronauts for going to Mars, and somehow it's his fault for making his sacrifice. What are black men leading, though? Their own lives? See, that's what black men need to lead. Their own damn lives. That's what black men are leading. Their own damn lives. They're choosing to be the captains of their own ship and the masters of their own damn fate. You don't ask white men to come back to a bunch of community of single mothers. They ostracize them. You don't ask Asian men. You go to fucking China right now. You have a baby outside of a marriage in China right now. You're called the forgettables. You're the throwaway women. Hell, let you go to a certain age without being married. You're done. What are black men leading, though? Themselves. And that's the only thing a black man needs to lead. Because I'm not going to force and gorilla pimp a chick to do what I push her to do. If you cannot, if you don't want to be under my protection, you don't want to be under my lead, then I'll leave. Be under your damn self. Be lonely. See, a lot of people, our women want equal age dating. When throughout history, men and women never dated at the same age. Which is funny as fuck because that puts the advantage of mating and dating into women's hands. When you start dating women of equal age or around the equal age, guess what that does? That tells women I could have a much longer hot girl summer life instead of looking for a man when I'm at my peak of beauty and fertility. Well, if that's your attitude, don't complain about the community of women. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. See, that's the problem. When white people complain about gun control, do you tell them to stop complaining about it? Why don't you listen to the complaints if you're really concerned about it? As a matter of fact, when I put the link in the chat, I want you to come tell your business about it. There was a very wise prophet 20 plus years ago who stated this. Don't save them. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Why does all these super simps got to come out into the fucking thing and try to say, well, don't complain about her? Last time I checked, it's a freedom of goddamn speech. And the minute you tell a black man, don't complain about the community, it's because usually you're trying to hide how fucked up it is. See, each time I hear a nigga that says don't complain about the community to women or having wives is because you're trying to protect them ratchet bitches. Not one damn time a person like you will ever say, hey, that's a good woman right there that man has. You'll never defend the good women. You'll never defend the ladies, but niggas like you will always defend the fucking ratchet bitches. And that's the one thing that irritates me. Niggas like you will defend ratchet bitches before you defend the ladies worth defending. Why? Because too many sucker niggas like you are fucking them. Why? Because too many sucker niggas like you are probably the ones getting them pregnant. I've said this once and I said it again. Nothing I ever protect will ever be above my critique. And I've spent 2 decades protecting God, country, and everything in it. So nothing's above my goddamn critique. Excuse you and dismiss me with your bullshit. But yet, why don't you tell these same women, why don't they get a good man to protect them? Why don't you ask these women, why can't they get married? Why can't they stay in relationships? Have you figured that shit out? Nope. Shout out to LAPD SWAT again. Commander / General Zod, keep the fire. We must address the enemy within, i.e. insurgents. Too many kings can ruin an army. Homer, you goddamn right. There's always been, see, anytime you have a powerful army or a powerful nation, an empire, the destruction of that empire or that army never comes from outside the perimeter. It always comes from within. It always comes from within. How many times have I said the first rule of protection is obedience? I cannot protect a disobedient child. I cannot protect a disobedient woman. I cannot. Sorry. I'm good, but I'm not that damn good. Okay? And see, this is the part where, yeah, because they need protection, I stand for mine. Go protect them. See what that causes you. How many brothers go where black women go, get disrespected, i.e., a nail shop? A brother throws a brick through the window, he gets arrested, and guess what happens? Even more black women goes into that shop. What about the black woman who got her ass kicked at the Asian hair store? What happened? They had a half off sale on weave, and that fucking line wrapped around 3 times around the block. You had older brothers in their 50s protesting, and you had this light-skinned wench come over there and say, y'all need to shut the hell up. They don't give a fuck about your protection. You're just a fucking tool to them. You're no different than what a carpenter looks at a goddamn hammer to them. Jerry Butler said, use me like a carpenter uses a tool. How can I protect somebody who does not respect my authority? Tell that to Dr. Umar. Tell that. Tell that shit. You want me to come back? Tell them they need to be in line with my ideals, my ideology. You salute me like I'm the goddamn post commander. If you're not willing to do that, fuck coming back to the community. There, I said it. There, I said it. If I'm not the number one under the sun, I'm not shining for any motherfucking body. And you can believe that shit. You want to be an attack dog? Here, motherfucker. There's the link right there. Come on up and explain yourself, good fella. Come on up. Come on, big fella. You want to tell me I should stop complaining? There's the link, motherfucker. But see, the problem is men like you condone this action because you're preying on these ratchets. The men like you would never, ever, and I mean ever. This is for Tori L, and that's it. Because this is the part that sickens me. Even if black men go back and teach these kids how to behave, teach them some skills that they can make money from, when is that going to better the community? When has it? So I should teach your son how to deal with women like you and tell them the truth about women like his mother. And how they should stay away from women like his mother. You know what? This is your chance to shine, Tori. Come on up. Get on up. See, I'm from early Manosphere 2.0. Early. I'm the motherfucker that asked Cynthia G, what's the opposite of a beta male coon? Notice I can talk shit about anybody in these spaces and they don't want to see me. I'm not too motherfucking hard to find. You saw when T. Riddler asked me questions, I ain't back down from none of them. Good damn questions, by the way, T. Riddler. See, the problem is you want to interject yourself in something when you want to be, when really you want to be subjective under a woman's fucking titty. What you really need to do was go home and slap the shit out of your mother for raising such a disrespectful bastard. No, don't block him. Don't block him. I want to see this shit. Now, see, people like you give Umar the fucking validation to say stupid shit like this. Because if the shoe was on the other damn foot and a nigga was in jail, you be blaming the nigga. Yes, I do think that white supremacy plays a large part in a lot of shit. But there's a decision to either fall for the trap or not. I bet you one thing. How many of you motherfuckers would go to Fresh and Fit and say this shit? See, there's a reason why good old Sarge here can talk this shit that he's talking. Because every time I help raise some other chick's son, it's that chick who never instilled any fucking sense in him. But the first thing my detractors are going to say, oh, you hate black women. No, I don't. I got none but love for black women. And sometimes the best love is the hardest. Anything I'm willing to protect is not above my mouth or my critique. If the only way to correct the behavior of the black community is ignore your ass for a generation, then so fucking be it. Because there's a real reason why you don't want the men who you want to bring up to raise your children. It's because the first damn thing they'll start to realize is how much of a detriment you were to them. You don't know how many people I've met in my life when CPS went to pick them the fuck up and they were living in their mother's house full of junk, trash, and all kinds of bullshit and drug use, that they said, thank God, that was the happiest day of my life. I was out that house as a child. I'm still waiting for you, Tori. I don't see Tori Ella. See, this is the reason why a lot of brothers say, fuck them kids. Back in the day, especially in my father's day, you know, them little boys would come around, see a man working on a car, and be awfully fucking respectful to that man. They were actually a benefit, an extra hand. And because he was so grateful for their respect, that he would teach them a thing or two. He would hire them. But because of this single mother epidemic who does not teach them respect for men, so many of those young boys will plot and try to steal or rob or even kill that man for what he's earned. So that's the reason why a lot of motherfuckers said, fuck them kids. It used to be a day when young black men would come up to a black man and say, hey, can you teach me this? Can you hire me this? I'm willing to learn. I'm in Baltimore, nigga. How many of these squeegee boys come from two-parent households? My father said to me, we rode past them a year ago. I wish you would if you were that age. I'd have beat your ass back into the car. Embarrassing the family like that. The reason why is because you got no fucking shame. You have no shame. You don't take pride in your own damn family name and legacy. Why? Because most of you don't even know who your father is. And guess whose fault that is? Most of you don't even know who your paternal grandfather is. Hell, most of you don't even know your maternal grandfather. But I bet you know every ratchet bitch in your family. And I'm going to tell you, niggas like that are jealous of men like me because I have a legacy. See, harsh tones. You speak harshly, Charles Faulkner. When doesn't a man speak harshly? See, y'all not privy to how real men speak anymore. You're not privy to when a man has conviction anymore. You got guys like Umar trying to convince fucking motherfuckers to be slaves. It's one thing. Yeah, I'll take care of that kid. Yeah, they coming on my taxes. Yeah, I'm putting them as a dependent on my check so I can make more money. When they go to college and they become successful, yeah, they're going to help take care of me. Then the deal is on. But I'll be damned to take care of something that I ultimately do not benefit from. You can kiss all sides of my ass and suck every 8 to 10 inches of my dick. And that's how intellectually I'll put that statement. I'm going to say this again. Stop telling black men to take a losing hand. If you feel that way about it, tell those black women to marry men with 8 kids. See how that goes. See how that goes. Oh, you should marry the guy with 8 baby mamas. Huh? But you expect us to marry the chick with 8 baby daddies. Whole family looking like the League of Nations and shit. Whole family looking like a map of Africa. Everything you say, I'm going to put it in reverse. And this is what I would say to the good Dr. Umar. I'll give you that. Let's say black men were the leaders of the community. Doesn't that mean that you should have been punished a long time ago, black women? You failed to listen to your commanding officers, black women? You were insubordinate? What's up, Tanda man?
What's up? Can you hear me? Do I have an echo?
Oh, no, you great, man. I'm going to ask you this, Tan. How old are you?
I'm 31.
31. How long you started listening to me?
About 3 years ago.
3 years. You told me about your lady 3 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's the advice I gave you about your lady?
You better marry her. Because ain't gonna be better. Ain't gonna get nothing better than that.
What did you do?
I married her 4 months later in February.
But guess what? Dude, how many people you hear clip those clips of me giving you that advice?
None.
But
Nobody clipped those clips.
but they'll say we hate marriage, right? No, we don't hate marriage. We just hate bad deals.
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah. You mind if I put my 2 cents on this? Hello?
I'm back, man. What you say?
So you mind if I put my 2 cents on this?
Go ahead, man. That's what you're here for.
My issue with him is, like, I hear what you're saying. I hear it. But didn't you make 2 women baby mamas and you didn't marry them?
Oh, wait a minute. 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 We got to dance on them hoes, Tan. We got to dance on them. Where Ray at? We got to dance on them hoes. Go ahead, talk your business while you're dancing. Go ahead, talk it. Ray dancing on them hoes. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah, I didn't think that was coming. And then every time you cornered women into their behavior, he went from the man's fault to the system fault, right? And I call BS on that. If you can still hear me, can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I call BS on that. Like I said, my grandpa helped raise me, Vietnam vet, so I learned a lot of history about war and all that other shit. When Pearl Harbor happened,
nigga, keep going.
When Pearl Harbor happened and the Asians were put into internment camps, do you think the women were complaining to their men about, look what you did, look what your fellow Asians did to us? No, they stuck it out. They got to camps, and they still loved and respect they man. When it's something that happens to us, it's, oh, you didn't protect us, you weren't strong enough. It's always a contempt for your black ass of why a system happens. You know what I mean? Hey, Charles, can you hear me? Hey, chat, can you guys hear me? Or is it me? Hello? Oh, okay. Well, my spiel is this, man. I want black men to feel loved and feel appreciated. You know what I mean? If you can get it here, you can get it here. but I just want y'all to feel appreciated, man. I learned what being valued was by other cultures, and it's sad to say, with my mom and grandma and other women in my family, I didn't get that, but I had to learn it from other cultures, and I took a stance of, hey, I'm not settling for less because I'm gonna work too damn hard and provide too much for my future kids to be
Thank you for carrying the show, Tan.
treated like average. Go ahead. Okay.
And this is the part that gets me, right?
Yeah.
Would you tell a poker player to play a bad hand?
No,
But
not at all.
why do everybody expect black men to play a bad hand? If you
Because
have
you
a
gotta
go ahead, I'm sorry.
it's because we got this fucking stigma to be down with the cause. Like there's dudes I've had to cuss out and really dumb it down for them. Like, nigga, you want to go to the burning fire just to say you black. How does that make sense?
It does not. No sense does
They
it ever.
got you so confused to be the guy who dies on a sword for no reason, no honor, nothing. You can be replaced easily. It will be replaced easily, and still be said that it's still your fault.
Exactly. And that's what I'm so against. If I benefited in some way, if we got here's my thing. If you dealt with a woman who had a child or two and she was a wife and she respected you, she said you're the leader of this household, we go by your whims. She gave you children, she gave you a legacy, she changed them kids' names to your last name.
Mm-hmm.
Most men would be okay with that, right?
Yep.
But we're not getting that. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. That's where you are, nigga. No, 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 no. No. We waiting for you, Toy. Waiting for you, nigga. Get your ass. Bring your ass here, boy. See, a lot of people are relatively new watching me. How many times would you say I'm with the smoke, Tan? I'm with the
A lot
smoke.
of a lot of the time, man. That's why I fuck with you. Excuse my
And
language, man.
yeah,
You don't tuck
we,
your tail, man.
we grown men over here. We curse.
Yeah, my bad. You don't tuck your tail, so I fuck with you for that reason, man.
There's a reason why educated men and blue collar men, and the words of Baltimoreans everywhere, fucks with me. They be like, yo, you keep it real. I said, no, this is about real life. I tame myself down for YouTube. Ask any of my female friends. Even the girls that I'm talking to, even the girl I talk to heavy, she gets mad till I point it out. And she points it out. Damn, black women are like this. Yep, shorty, they sure are.
Yeah.
And it's not that I think it's all black women. See, here's the problem. Niggas like Tory would never defend the good black women. My
I wish he
nephew,
came up here.
I pray to God he would. I will make so much fucking money off your ass right now. But see, this is the part about the cowardly man. When a man challenges the status quo and he says, I'm tired of being a hoe for the status quo, I'm not going to take it anymore. That's when everybody has an issue. Because the black man is supposed to be along to get along. My nephew, who's 30, he'll be 31 in August. Active duty Army. Just got promoted to sergeant. He's engaged to a Hispanic shorty. He's from a city, Baltimore, where it's roughly 70% black people. Why the fuck do you think he's engaged with a Hispanic woman?
Because he feels appreciated. He
Say
feels
that.
real love.
Say that shit with your chest out, man.
He feels appreciated. He feels real love.
Exactly.
He feels what it he sees what it feels like to be liked,
And be a
not
man.
used, and be a man.
And see, Are there some black women out there who could do the same? Yeah,
Yeah,
but
few,
not enough. Not even close to enough of them.
not even close, man.
And that's the sadness of it. Because I had to come to the realization, and I told this story before, when I was really, really down and out with COVID,
Hmm.
and I was sick. I went from bench pressing 500 pounds to the point of not even being able to hold a cup of soup. That's how sick I was.
Hmm.
And I had to come to the realization what I saw with my mother and my father. My father went around my house fixing stuff. My mother literally cleaned the basement, the living room, and upstairs. Without question, it was almost robotic. And I came to the realization if I would have been with the average woman, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Because the average woman does not have the robotic nature of my mother when it comes to cleaning. And that's scary to realize that a lot of you young brothers, when I get to talk to you, and I mean younger than me by 10 years or less or more, and I tell you, you're going to have to go through a fucking an adventure, action adventure movie to find a suitable wife. I noticed he still didn't come bring his ass up here either.
And I want to say something. As you should go through things to find something worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're saying, and a lot of black men are saying, it's like, God damn, I keep running into dud after dud after dud after dud. And then hearing the rhetoric, it's like, am I supposed to wait until I'm 50 to meet somebody? Or somebody who already has kids who got that got hit on the head too many times to finally act good?
Exactly.
When
And
Enrique don't have to hear, oh, you gotta own Home Depot. Instead of it, look at I've been around Spanish people all my life, man. Enrique can sit in front of a Home Depot and still get respect and still get a packed fucking lunch while we gotta own the fucking bus.
yeah, think about
And when
that.
we say something, the shaming language is you could just say you're broke.
You know what's funny about that, Tan? I had women who took better care of me, and I never slept with them, than some men in their marriages.
Oh yeah.
I had women who were just female friends. They saw dishes piled up in the sink. You know what they did? They washed them without question.
Hmm.
One of my good friends, who I got to go hang with again, when I was sick with COVID, her cousin's a chef. I had enough food for 2 weeks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, packed and meal prepped. That's love.
Yeah.
If she wasn't messing with a homeboy of mine, I'd have married that chick.
Yeah. And what's crazy is what's the difference between men and women. This is a two-part statement. What's different between men and women, and why Umar was wrong, and why we're not trying to practice individualism, because we want the average man just to get respect. Because I know you don't have a hard time getting women, and I don't have a hard time getting women.
I
And I'm sure you know what type of black girls to talk to, just like I do. But we're not preaching individualism because we done seen so many years with
mm-hmm.
Kevin, and I done seen it before Kevin. The average black man can't even get respect.
That's the
So it's
that's
not even individualism; it's a collective that we're
it.
talking about. Because
It's
we
a
look after each other as men. Go ahead. Sorry.
exactly. It's like you just stated so eloquently that it's a cultural epidemic going on.
Hmm.
When I'm supposed to look at your wife, and if you're not there, I'm supposed to protect your wife with my life. And if I have a significant other, girlfriend or wife, you do the same for me. I'm not trying to fuck her. I'm not trying to talk to your wife about you greasy. I'm supposed to respect her and make sure she's safe and on her way. We got away from saying, women, Should black men love you? Yes. But nobody ever talks about you should respect black men no matter what. We forget those commandments, don't we?
Uh-huh.
We
Yeah.
forget that shit. And see, where women be like, I can't find a man on my level, what they really not telling you is all you're seeing is the men on your level. You thought that you were a world champion and you were still a journeyman. Nature has a cruel way of showing you your level. That's what they don't like. That's what they can't comprehend. See, this is the reason why it's important for black men to support black men media and endeavors. Because Umar's paid by black women predominantly.
Mm-hmm.
When you have black men who are paid by black men, they can just say whatever the fuck comes out of their mouth and not care. There's no repercussions. There is no consequence. You could literally look at a woman come up on this panel and say, "You are no consequence to me. You don't control your purse strings have nothing to do with my pockets."
Yeah.
And here's the biggest issue. This is how I know a lot of black men are still stuck in the matrix. A black female can say the same thing I'm saying right now. And she'll have what? 150, 250, 300 subscribers. God forbid if she built like a shit brick house and got a face.
Make a point.
See, don't let the brother who's 41 with some life experiences teach you something. See, this is the part that a lot of you niggas who always got to say something in my chats. You don't talk about the fact that I'm teaching brothers damn near free of charge. But you won't even tell your sons and your nephews and your younger cousins, hey, listen to this man. He about to tell you something. You won't even point to the fucking fact when I had a show to say my advice to somebody 16 to 25. You won't. You know what you'll do? You'll get so hyped up because you're afraid to get the wrath of your woman if you like this show. A lot of guys are. That you'll criticize me even though you're living the very life I'm telling you about.
I don't understand, man. Sorry if I cut you off. I don't understand, man. I grew up listening and following my uncle's teachings and shit. And yeah, he may not have been perfect. Yeah, he may have done a lot of years in prison for pimping, man. But one thing that stuck to me, and that was always told in my family, because I got a lot of cousins, is what the fuck I'm listening to a bitch for?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck I'm listening to her for? Like,
Exactly.
and I apologize to all the female content creators, man. Bitch, you ain't got nothing I need to know. You ain't got nothing I need to know.
Exactly. You know, it's funny. I told a female friend of that. I said, I had to come to a point, and sometimes I even sit out back and I'll play music and I'll listen to shit because it's an overhead covering, so when it rains, it doesn't touch me. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful sight when you're smoking a cigar. Might do that tonight since it probably rained.
yeah, I love cigars, man.
But shout out to Indigo Flow with the super sticker. Deep waters keep driving me deeper. Shout out to Indigo Flow. And this is what I had to come to it. And I had told her, I said, I could count on one hand and still have fingers left how many times I took a woman's advice. And it's funny because there's so many women who I've said this. A woman's advice is not necessarily good to men.
Mm-mm.
It has to be an older woman, usually.
Yep, yep. Like Angela Bassett type old. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
because
security boss type old. Sorry,
exactly. Because when you
still
listen
married.
to a woman closer to your age advice about other women and relationships, it's very selfish.
Yeah,
The one thing I say, and Bernie Mac said it best, it's a man's job to respect a woman, but it's a woman's job to give that man something to respect. Hmm. Oh, you think I didn't know that, Indigo? You think I didn't know that? But here's the problem. And oh yeah, shout out to everybody. Gonna be at BlurCon July 7th through the 9th. Come speak to me because I'll probably be next to Cree Summer. And when I'm off, not working security, I'll be outside doing meet and drinks. We don't do meet and greets, we do meet and drinks. But the funniest thing about it is I've always asked women this, were you ever taught to be a wife? And there's a lot of women who tell me no, they weren't taught to be a wife, but I'll test them. They'll come to my room and they'll clean up my whole room.
Mhm.
They'll come cook. They'll come wash dishes. They'll mop. There's women who will invite me out to drinks. See, they'll say, "Oh, you hate women." Women love me. Not one woman in my 41 years of life ever said she was not protected by me.
That's a fact. Same here.
And see, when your woman looked at you and said, "Look, this nigga got a plan.
Hmm.
He actually cares about me. I love him. I'm gonna stick with him." That's all men are asking for. We are not asking for supermodels. Let's just get this shit straight. We're
Yeah.
asking for women who keep their bodies in some type of relative good shape because we know after you have babies, your bodies kind of do some things. But guess what? Look what one of my chicks do. She rides a bike 50 miles. She probably does averaging 110 miles a week. Built like a shit brick house too, man.
Yeah.
We always talked about effort. She lives in PG. I live in Baltimore City. We live about an hour and 5 minutes or 55, depending on track, 50 minutes away from each other. The one thing we ask is time. Last weekend, the weekend that just passed, I went to go see her at her house. The weekend before that, she came to mine. You can't ask more effort than that. See, there's a
Mm.
lot of men who can't even get a woman to even cook for them once.
If I tell my stories, man, I'll make a lot of men jealous. So I'll just keep keep it like that.
Hey, I tell you, God bless you, young brother, because you had a plan.
Yeah.
And the one
And
thing
she
we
had to show me. She had to show me she
exactly,
was worth. She had to show me she was worth protecting. She had this like because a lot of dudes get this shit backwards. Oh, let me peacock and show her my feathers and show her what I got. Man, you looking like a motherfucking lollipop waiting to get sucked.
yep,
Trying to peacock to a girl what you can do for her and show her your feathers and I call it peacock. It's called peacocking. You
yeah,
look
that's
like a sucker ready to get licked when you start peacocking. Oh, I'm a leader. Yeah, you should follow me and all that. Because guess what? You're not giving her any duties. You're not
exactly.
showing. You're not
Say that,
showing her your
say that
worth.
shit again with your chest out. Say that shit. See, they didn't capture what you just said.
Yeah. When you
See,
peacocking and you showing out, you pretty much being a sucker ready to get licked because you're not giving expectations on her and your standards of why she deserves your fucking leadership. She deserves your leadership.
mhm. See, here's the part that people forget: a woman needs your leadership. You're supposed to see women give you inspiration.
Hmm.
Men give women purpose. That's some pimp shit. Hey Nino, you still in the chat? You need to write this shit down. You're gonna be the scribe of the day, Nino. What's up, man? Long time no see. You gotta write this. Somebody gotta write this shit down. Women give men inspiration. Men give women purpose. You can't become a mother unless a man gives you the seed. Deep shit, isn't it? You can't become a mother unless a man gives you a seed.
I remember I remember Crimson Cure saying something about how women today, especially black women today, use hyperbole the wrong way. And she used the analogy of a bird wanting another baby, and so she needed a bigger nest. And so that relates to, can you pour into your man? Can you motivate him?
Exactly.
Can you be a woman of proverbs? Because
Mm.
as we
Say
heard years,
shit for the niggas in the back. Say that shit for the niggas in the back.
are you a woman of proverbs? And I'm about to pull that scripture up.
Please do. Because they
Because
don't
I
understand. They don't understand.
they don't.
See, people want to check out that Bible, but they don't want to hear what the Bible says that they agree with and what they don't agree with. You got to hear it in all its totality.
Yeah. Let me see.
The stenographer of the day will be Nino. Shout out to Nino. That's my boy.
Proverbs 31:10, because we know they love to bring up the Bible. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is far more precious than rubies.
Mm, mm. Keep going, bro. Keep going. God damn.
Yeah. So
That hits like a gut punch, man. See, what a lot of brothers don't understand is this. And how much did I encourage you to stay with you to marry your wife? I'm like a bigger brother, almost an
yeah,
uncle to you, right? In age, right?
yeah. I knew I was going to, but it takes men like you and older wise men to say, what you waiting for?
Yeah. I'm looking
You know
at
what I
you
mean?
like when you're not and you know what's funny, Tan?
Yeah.
You're not the only guy I said this to. I've been saying this shit for years. When one guy, he was on BGS's platform, and I opened up my own stream to talk to him. It was like, okay, what's going on with you and your lady? He was like, well, Shorty, she likes video games. She works, she pays, she helps with the bills, she cooks every day or every other day, and she's very nice. I said, dude, I will fly to where you are. All the men on the panel said, we will fly to where you are. We will beat your ass if you let that one go.
Yep. Yep.
But they will never play the clips of that.
Mm.
Oh, you call women bitches. Yes, I never had to call a lady a bitch. Think about it. Never had to call a lady a bitch one time in my life.
Mm. I get what you're saying.
Yep. And that's what I get every time people hear it. Never had to call a lady a bitch in my life. I said, so here's the issue. Here's the issue. When when men speak, even the angels on in heaven listen. Because one, when you ordain, this is where the family needs to go. And I
Hmm.
had to tell this to my female friend. She has 2 master's degrees. And I remember telling her, I said, oh, you got 2 master's degrees. That means you're just at the beginner's level of talking to me. You'll get you're smart enough to get the concepts I'm going to bring, hopefully.
Hmm.
And I said this to people before. You don't understand what men go through is because you never were taught that men had value outside of money, dick, and resources. You don't understand that if men stop working their jobs, this world would spin off its axis.
Yeah.
Because let's see whether if you fly a bitch in or you take her by or she takes a bus, that toll money becomes whole money. and that's and that's pimpology for you right there.
Mm.
See, people hate pimps. You know why? Because pimps understand women at their basic, raw, animalistic nature.
Hmm.
Oh, I would never treat a woman like this. Nigga, please. You don't understand how women like to be treated. This is how you know you never really had you never had trouble with women. When women will tell you their deepest, darkest fantasies or what they have done. And all you got to do is not judge them. In the back of your mind, you're like, mm.
Hmm.
But see, but see, a lot of men are shocked by women. Oh, I think of women being so dainty. I think of I think of women are so no. Just like you have wants, needs, and desires. You think women don't? Women are just as horny and sometimes, if not more. See,
I think I think more.
every woman got hoe in them. It's just up to you to see if you can bring it out. Guess what? Not every woman's a hoe to every guy. There's some women who are wives to some men. Some women are girlfriends. Some women are close friends. Some women are friends with benefits. But here's the funniest thing about Dr. Umar and people like him. How can you tell me to go marry and take up residence and refuge with kids? Have you done that on with your baby mamas?
He can't because the system, they on the system. And the system is set up for me not to be there. One fish, two fish, we don't
Blue
eat.
screen fish, Nick Nap Paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
No, he and the reason why I bring that up is because Negro, you don't know how to choose women. You don't know how
Exactly.
to choose women. You don't know. Not like we said, not all of them, but we know when we see them
Yeah.
which ones to avoid and which ones to engage in. He don't know how to choose. He don't know how to choose women at all. Period. Point blank. Simple.
Here's you know what, Tan and people in the chat and anybody else who want to come, that's the link. I'm gonna say this. God damn it, phone dropped. I'm gonna say
I'm
this.
all smoke too. If you
I,
got
I,
questions, come get the smoke.
come get the smoke. If you feel as though you could challenge the boy, come get it. They call me
Macho man.
I'm too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Yeah. Whoa. See,
I just see that special.
oh yeah. That special is good. Macho
Yeah.
Man, trust me, if you're a pro wrestling fan, Macho Man is probably one of the most he made pro wrestling an art.
Yeah.
He would practice it till like he had two of the think about it. This is why Macho Man and Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat are some of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time. On a side note, because they were all in some of the greatest matches that ever lived. Look at the Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair series. Look
Mm.
at the Macho Man at WrestleMania 3 with Ricky Steamboat. Some of the greatest fucking shit to this day. That shit is better than some of the matches you see to this day.
Side note: I didn't know that they core horse. I mean, I didn't know that they core horse the moves like that. Like
Yeah.
he had a whole. I didn't know that was wrestling. I just thought wrestling was like improv, and we just not gonna do things to destroy each other and hurt each other.
Some,
But I
some,
didn't know it was a
some
script.
things some things are, and then some things are rehearsed. And
I didn't know that at
think
all.
about it. I want you to go look at these two matches because I'm a big Bret Hart fan. And I'm a big Owen Hart fan. Go look at
Hmm.
Owen Hart versus Bret Hart WrestleMania 10, and go look at Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at SummerSlam. What is it, 95 or 9? I think it was 95 or 96.
Hmm.
Um, those were some beautiful matches. I mean, go look at the King of the Ring, the first King of the Ring pay per view,
Hmm.
and, and Watch Brett Russell, Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect, and then Bam Bam Bigelow in three beautiful matches. Jesus Christ. Oh, you talking about Mid Atlantic South? You showing your age, LAPD SWAT. See,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why. I'm glad Tan's up here and he said it best. That's why I fucks with you. Do you know how many police officers, military officers who are my subscribers? I have officers who are my truck drivers who are successful. I deal with winners, okay? And it's funny because when you're a master of a craft, like a Macho Man, like a Ric Flair, like a Ricky the Steamboat, and even my type of wrestling, which is collegiate style and freestyle wrestling, when you could teach a master's class, think about it. When people say, "What have you done to help the community?" I just qualify that
Is it me or is Charles Borgen? Somebody put a one in the chat. If Charles is Borgen. Oh, Charles, man, you Borgen, man. You Borgen. Well, anyways, I had a program, man, and so I laid the program out. She followed it, and we both get into our goals and shit, and we all our goals line up as one. So I do tell men to have a program. You can be an average Joe, man, but have a program. You know what I mean? It could be cash value life insurance, whole life insurance. You know what I mean? It could be, and whatever you into, man. She's supposed to be into what you into, in a way. I don't want to be all sunshines and rainbows and shit, but yeah, man, it's lovely when you find the right one.
guess
Well, you
what?
working? Yeah.
We back in stride again, nigga. What's Big Kev in the building? What's up,
How's it
Kev?
going? How's it going, Charles? Again, thanks for having me up. I'm very humbled. Uh, yeah,
And
man, you make some good points.
by the way, Kev, how old are you?
I'm 27.
27. You know the young guys love me, man. The young guys and the old guys love me. I want you. I want to ask you this because I know you're even younger than Tame. Oh, this feels beautiful with this fucking summer breeze. Makes me feel
We feel
fine.
fine,
Go ahead.
blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Yep.
Uh, but let me ask you this question from your opinion. What, if anything, that Tan or myself said was wrong about relationships compared to what Dr. Umar stated?
I think you're coming from you guys are coming from a very rational point of view where it's like, hey, basically, as I said before, it's like, don't be a man for free. That's dumb, you know. And
Don't
I
be
think guys like
don't be
guys
scared to be a man, too.
yeah, not just that, but it's like, no, but I'm like, I think the guys like the Umar, like they literally want you to be a man for free. Like, you don't pay any money. I'm sorry, don't don't get paid, don't get any respect, don't get any sexual gratification, don't get any honor. Just sacrifice, just to say you sacrifice. It's like, yeah, like that sounds like that only makes sense to a guy that's either a cuck or a slave. Because anybody who has any semblance of self-respect, I'm like, that's a terrible deal. So
But how many times did he give you excuses of why her behavior was her behavior? That's the whole double minority talk, right, Charles?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like as Mr. Z said, yeah, intersectionality talk. I actually made a term for it. I call it sexualized negrophobia. you know, where it's like, um, basically, a lot of them, a lot of the what we call quote unquote anti-black behavior that a lot of so-called black women exhibit, it gets brushed off and kind of gets downplayed and says, oh, well, you don't understand her story, and it's like, listen, I understand the negative propaganda, but beyond a certain point, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like at
Yeah.
some point, common sense and self respect have to be in there somewhere. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem is with a lot of people is that they want to bastardize masculinity and never have masculinity to be respected. They always want to put it in a position of servitude. Like, why is it that I'm in a position of servitude? Don't I get something out of this shit? And as soon as black men say, hey, I want more for myself than to be somebody's ATM machine, that's when everybody gets gets antsy. That's when, oh, this nigga think he deserves some respect. And I think that's what it comes down to it. But here we go. Here comes Umar. Well, it's the black man's fault for nigga. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
yep, loud and clear.
Y'all remember when he had the fiasco with the conscious stripper? Even though I think it's stupid to call her a conscious stripper.
Oh yeah, down in Georgia.
Yeah, like you're a conscious stripper, but yet you slept with him just so you can make a controversy. Which I think because he was getting a lot of traction, they planted that bitch and they knew what his weakness was. They planted that bitch there. And instead of actually being a man who can see the who can see the trees from the forest, he bought it hook, line, and sinker. If Umar never had the fiasco with this conscious stripper, do you know how many athletes behind the scenes would have been connected with him?
A lot.
Do you know how much money and power and influence he would have had? But because those niggas know your fucking weakness. They know your fucking weakness. They know what you're gonna do. He fell for it. He fell for it. And I get to this point where I tell a lot of black men, stop falling for your weaknesses, man. We may stay focused, my brothers. We need to stay focused. But see, it's so hard to tell a brother to say stay focused when you get to indulge in some of the acts of how we say of the flesh, but we can't partake. That's a little selfish, my nigga.
Yeah.
That's a little selfish.
Well,
On top of that, I understand we all make mistakes, but don't make such mistakes where it's going to cost you your school in totality. And that's exactly what he did. You cost your own damn school. You cost millionaires and billionaires who supported you and rock with your message to say, you know what, I got to back away because if somebody finds out I donated money, not going to be a good look.
I want to say this, man. I think I think we really gotta go down to the bone and pass the meat, man. I say out of 10 black men, you probably got 2 that are good leaders, that are real leaders.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out, Charles, because you said this about 10 minutes ago, and I just looked at her stats. Six the Goddess has 64,000 subscribers. Ex stripper, single mom. You're a professional black man that served this country, that has his own son, that's raising his kids. His kid. You have
And
3.5.
and a security firm, and
Yep.
about to get hired as a fucking sergeant for another law enforcement agency.
Yep.
Again, she has how many subscribers?
64.6, 64,000 subscribers. And
You
I
know,
piggyback what Ed said last night because I was listening to you guys at 12 o'clock. I couldn't go to sleep, man.
not to cut you off real quick before
Yeah.
you start. I'm gonna say this. Shout out to LEPD Squad again, another faithful. Don't forget the St. Louis area, KO area, Checker Dome, the Von Erichs and the Ric Flair versus Brody. Oh yeah, that's classic. But you got to remember this. People don't know this. Around 20 to 30K, around 20, sometimes 10, depending on how dependable your subscribers are.
Hmm.
You don't have to work a regular job if you have around 20 to 30K subscribers.
Yeah.
And she has 60,
4,000.
64,000. Continue, please.
So, like I was saying, I was listening to you, Ed, and BGS last night before I fell asleep, man. When y'all was talking about that college shit, man. Some niggas you just can't help, and they had that um, they had that mindset of nigga, who are you? You don't got boobs and ass and titties, something I want. So who in the fuck are you for me to fucking listen to? And I think
Exactly.
that's what you have a lot in our community. But if I want to be on my Umar shit, who raised those boys? Y'all did. So y'all are dealing with the men that y'all raised and said you didn't need, and didn't put money behind them and make sure they had an education. Because like I remember from the 90s, I was in Atlanta, Georgia when it was hot. In the 90s, it was hot to be in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a place to be. It was go to college so you don't depend on no man.
Say that again for the niggas in the back who didn't hear you, Tan.
Like I heard in the 90s before I moved to Seattle in 2006 or 5. Growing up in Atlanta, where it was Black Hollywood, we called it Black Hollywood in the 90s. I always heard moms, aunties, and grandmas tell their daughters to go to school so you don't need no man.
Uh-huh.
Strike me down if I'm lying, God, because I heard that shit countless of times.
You know what the
And
Lord
like,
would say? I heard that shit too.
and when I moved to Seattle, as you know my story, when I moved to Seattle, I never heard of Asian, I never heard of Mexican, I never heard of Indian person say that to their daughters, and they wasn't saying it in high school. And
And let me
Seattle is majority multicultural. It's not even as black as
and let me
Atlanta.
let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
When you were real hot and serious with your wife when y'all first was dating and y'all were getting serious, the first motherfucker you had to sit with by yourself was her dad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I met her dad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And y'all had to sit and the women went somewhere else, right?
Yep. Had a conversation.
Yep.
He was outside working on the car. I met her when she was 21. Now I wasn't as serious, but I met her when she was 21 and she was a virgin, and so she saved it for me. And I'm the only one who's seen that part of her because she knew that she would be a wife one day. She grew up with that ideology, like BGS said. She grew up very different. But yeah, I had to sit down with her dad.
See, when you sit down with dad, that's a coming to God moment. And if you're and trust me, a lot of dudes don't realize this. If you have a child, son or daughter, you're gonna sit down with that person who thinks the world of your child.
Yeah.
Oh, like my son, he went with his little girlfriend to Six Flags. And I'm like, what does he have to bring? The mom was like, oh, he doesn't have to bring anything, just himself. I'm thinking to myself, this little nigga already winning. Shit. And I'm like, you got to sit down to me and be like, okay, this is my child. What do you want with him? And that's the point where a lot of people don't understand when having children. And I think that too many brothers out there and sisters don't understand. You treat your children like the most valuable treasure that you have because they usually are.
Yeah.
Well, also thought, how can you talk about children but you hate women? Well, did I ever say I hate women? I just said that I understand women's fucking nature. There's a difference. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
But.
But you're going back to what you were saying earlier, and you said she was a virgin when she met you, and she had all these things. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would have. If I was with Charles Rucker, I would have said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, you should definitely, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely keep her. Yeah, like she's a good woman to you. You know what I mean? She's overall
Hmm.
good looking. She's a good woman to you, and she's cooperative. I'm like, yeah, you. Yeah, she's definitely a keeper.
Yeah.
Definitely a keeper. Congrats, bro.
I think Charles worked out again.
If we notice one thing about women
Oh,
versus men, men aren't going to shoot you down if that's a good person. Men are going to encourage you to make that woman an honest woman.
yep. Instead of go find yourself, girl.
Go find
go get some. Go get some
that
experience.
girl. Nah, men are going to encourage you. Hey, that's a good look. You gonna do all right with shorty.
Hey, cause Charles, guess what? Growing up, I heard from men, man, you only gonna meet maybe one good girl in your lifetime, maybe two if you get lucky. I heard that in high school from a man. Man, you probably gonna meet maybe one good girl in your life. Don't fuck it up. Two if you lucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I took it and I ran with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But that's because I knew to look towards men for guidance. Even if I don't know you, if I know that you sounding and you coming from a place of knowledge and hey, I wish I would have did this when I was younger, then I'm a listen to you. I'm not above approach. You know what I mean? But it's hard for men to do that whenever you raise boys and girls to have an ideology of you ain't my daddy, who are you?
exactly. You're just using those men.
Because my mom had me and my brother, but we grew up with a lot of respect because my grandpa was in our lives constantly. Nowadays, even if you so let's say you meet a girl with a kid, man, she gotta be Optimus Prime in today's time frame for you to even take her seriously. And I don't even think they make them like that anymore.
Yeah,
I remember my mom with two kids. She looks like Gina from Martin. So this is the '90s. My mom had to beat dudes off of her. How she was attractive and smart and intelligent. Man, I used to watch my mom do Tabo at night, and my mom still get on me if I get overweight and not overweight, but gaining some pounds on my face and whatnot. Even though I'm a truck driver right now, she still get on me. But I used to watch my mom do Tabo just to
yeah,
stay in shape and make sure we acted right because
yeah,
she knew she wanted a husband. These girls don't think that way. Even if they do have a kid, they still think you owe them, and that's
yeah.
not even your child.
And see, this is what I had to tell a female friend of mine. She was like, I still got the pretty face, but I know I have a little gut. I said, well, shorty, I got an exercise bike, and anytime you want to use it, work that motherfucker out.
Yeah.
You live in a nice neighborhood where you can take a walk. Work that motherfucker out. There's no excuse now. Fuck a surgery. That's how you know you fucking up. You got to go to surgery. Man, all it is called pushbacks. Push back that apple pie. Push back that fucking dessert. Push back. Eat some better food. Push back McDonald's. Push back Wendy's.
And black men are not even asking for Victoria's Secret models, man. We most of us like meat, so we're not even asking you to be back in the day Victoria's Secret models.
Mm-hmm.
But your contempt for black men and respect for black men is so low. You dying away and having artery issues and high blood pressure problems because you think, oh, I don't need no man, so what the fuck am I getting in shape for?
Mm-hmm. And that's their issue. Their open issue is that your content for black men is literally costing you your own health.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about that. Your content for black men is costing you your health. Shout out to Ashley M. Too many black women gorge themselves thinking they should be eating every damn time, every damn hour of every day. It's sad because if we say one black women are too damn overweight, and I always said to y'all, black women are undefeated if they work out.
Whew, man.
There is no woman who can compete with you on planet Earth if you have
At
a
all.
who works out. And but you notice they're not going to clip that. They're not going to clip that.
Wonder Woman if they worked
They're
out.
fucking, they look like this chick here. God damn it. They look like
Man.
that, but they look like this. Like black
Yeah,
women work
I was
out
about.
are undefeated, man.
Yeah, man. If you look at example what I'm talking about, you could look at this chick. I see her on Instagram. Her name is Catherine Celeste. Um, like Catherine with a K, and like a Y. But yeah, man, if you were to look her up, man, you were like, man, goddamn. You know what I mean? She works out all the time. It's like, yeah, and like you said, people speed past that point. You know, people just straight up say, and obviously, I gotta drop a bunch of weight myself. You know what I mean? So but yeah, like I pretty much most of us would definitely agree. Yeah, if she has a flat stomach, some clear skin, she's probably gonna be very attractive. You know, and then especially if she's clean too. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why dudes be so like not apathetic. It's like you talk all this stuff about how great you are and how wonderful you're this bastard feminine, yet you don't display it. It's like you're short selling yourself. So hey, but maybe that's just me.
Hey, I mean, I've told black women this shit before. You work out. I don't know too many black men that will say no. Because one, if you lose the weight that you're supposed to do, be at a natural weight, your face gets symmetry. I'm an artist. There's a symmetrical face. The more you eat, the bigger you get, the square and fat face your face look. The fatter a face looks, the more masculine it looks. So it's gonna drive men away.
And they're not even understanding this simple math. And I wanted to say this, man. Well, y'all like them like this and like them like that. And I've seen countless videos say we like black women natural, right? If you go up to a guy, if a guy come up to you or you go up to a guy and he doesn't like your natural look, then shout it, he ain't the one.
Mm-hmm.
Stop counting your losses and holding that to every other man to validate your fuck shit. If you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They
The
think
men that
dudes
are
tricking
the
off
men
on.
that are not hold on, the men that are not for you, you hold that to the big umbrella. That's how we all think. I've never really heard a man on any of these panels and clips and TikTok say, I don't like a natural black woman. Pam Grier was fine as Foxy.
And she was built like a shit brick house. Like, look how fit she was in her prime. Let me put it to you this way: people forget. Look up on Google a picture of fucking Felicia Rashad and
Mm-hmm.
Debbie Allen together in their prime. There was not too many women on earth. Think about this. Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen were on the same wavelength and the same level as a prime Vanessa Williams.
And I'm to a bro, Charles.
And by the way, I gotta say this, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna let you speak. For all you haters out there who say, "Oh, but you hate dark skinned girls," how
I was
many
about to say that same thing. Whew, thank you for saying that. Go ahead.
motherfuckers? Let me play this. Let me play this shit right here for all you haters.
Is that Keisha for Belly?
That's Bria motherfucking Miles. As chocolate as a Hershey bar and tastes just as
Mm-hmm.
good. Let me see. My man Nino said, Charles, let me ask you a question. Do you think Kiki Palmer fit the hyena profile of a chick? Or is she
Yep.
not the sisterhood? Yes. As fine as Kiki can be, because I saw her when she dropped the weight. You can check my community tab. She looks good as a motherfucker. Here's the problem. She's a gynocrat.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you'll go on Saturday Night Live or any show like that as a single mother pregnant, that shows how much of a gynocrat you are. I want you to
It,
look at who's the chick that played Miss Marvel? Fine as shit too.
bef- Before you say that, look at the interview she had with Steve Harvey. He's giving her some good advice on how to pick a man, and she's over here battling him, deflecting, attacking. You know what I mean? She didn't want to listen to any good advice for her.
Yeah, you got to think Vanessa Williams, Debbie Allen, and Felicia Rashad are in the same class of timeless classic beauties. And see, this is the problem with modern women. They're too busy trying to debate men on what men like.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
that's it,
funny you.
it's
It,
confusing, man.
it's funny you brought that skin thing up because if it's not this, it's this. It's another thing. That's why I say I don't give a fuck what a bitch got to say because whenever it gets down to the bone, they're just not enough. They're not enough. And they want to push their insecurities onto you. And I say this I've never met a man who said Keisha from Belly was ugly. And Keisha is dark skinned in that movie. I've
Yeah,
never met a man that said Keisha from Belly was ugly. We like dark skin. That's why we picked Kelly Rowland over Beyonce.
because Kelly Rowland is actually Beyonce's an 8, Kelly Rowland's a 9.
Easy.
And see, you look at Bria Miles. That's still a fine bitch. Even prime Megan Good or see, there's times when I told dudes, I said, look, Megan Good will be 42 this year in August. What man on earth? There's gay men that'll fuck that. So if you see the most beautiful women out there and Planet Fitness only costs you $10, $20 a month, you can hire a guy like me to help you with your fitness.
Mhm.
If you're like, are you a trainer? Well, I train wrestlers to be in the best possible shape to compete, and boxers and MMA artists. My main man, one of my main men in this. Oh man, electrician 480, chasing money right now, catching the replay. Woo! You want to talk about some of my guys who are faithful? besides LAPD, SWAT, and others, you guys are the motherfucking truth, man. I got to give you your flowers. You men are the motherfucking truth. You men are the motherfucking truth. You know what? Y'all don't know when the old folk going through some hard times and that YouTube check hits the direct deposit, man. I thank all of you. Woo! Chase that money, my dude. Chase that motherfucking money. I mean, this is another reason why I want a lot of brothers from the Black Manosphere to come to the BlurredCon because Cree Summer gonna be there. Y'all remember how fucking fine Freddie was? And all of you guys who love cartoons of the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, the 2020s, she voiced all them motherfuckers. Come on down. And you're going to see your boy interview one of the most beautiful women ever. Cosplay X twerk. God damn, she is a lovely woman. You're going to see me have a drink and interview her as well. So, yeah, and plus your boy's the director of security. So come to God, Beastly Nerd, your ass should have got a fucking flight and a fucking room to fucking BlurredCon. Get your ass down here, Beastly. And Nino. We try to get everybody. Tell Artist to bring his ass too. But on a serious note, if you notice about the most beautiful women in the world, the one thing you noticed what they have in common is gym. Dedication. They work out like Mayweather, nigga. Hard work, dedication. Hard work, dedication. This is the reason why so many women like a Megan Good is still incredibly beautiful. Oh, Nino, you better come too. In their 40s. When is it? July 7th through the 9th. And July 7th is my little brother's birthday and also Cree Summer birthday. So they're having a little party for Cree Summer. So you better come. And then I'm gonna do a show while I'm there when I'm commanding, everybody.
Ooh, Cree, she's fine.
Huh?
So I'm seeing who you're talking about. She's fine.
Who's that?
Cree, Summer.
Oh, she's still fine. And that's one of my friends who I'm gonna interview. And she got to have a drink with me too. Cosplay X twerk. God damn, she fine.
Is she married?
Cool, Cree?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
The reason I asked that because it's like, man, I used to have a crush on her. There's no reason why Tracy Ellis Ross is single.
No.
From Sisters. I mean, from
Tia Tamara.
yeah. No. Tracy Ellis Ross was from Girlfriends.
Girlfriends. There's no reason why. She built like a shit brick house to this day.
But then I got older and listened to you guys and on you and BGS. It's that feminist ideology that got them screwed up. So even when they are fine, you still gotta see if the software is
Yeah, and it's like
manageable.
even with my friend, and there sometimes we had to go through her software.
Yeah.
She thinks that I'm sexist. I said, no, shorty. I said, this is what men think. Y'all need to start listening to the men of how they think. Because one, you don't take what they think, they're not going to be around you much longer. And it's like Cree, Beastly Nurse that Cree is married. Hey, Beastly, bring your ass to our BlurredCon. You need to tell Artisan. Wait till I get a hold of Artisan. I'm going to tell his ass, bring your ass to BlurredCon. Shit. Gonna have a good old time. I know Zan probably working, but I know you probably drive a truck through Virginia. Come on out. Have a cigar, drink some liquor, and hang with your nigga. Oh man, if you look up on Instagram cosplay X twerk, shit. I don't blush over women like that because you know I'm a smooth James Bond nigga, but god damn, that's a fine motherfucker, boy. Fine motherfucker. God damn. Mm. Am I showing too much whoo! I gotta do my Ric Flair on that one. When I saw her ass, like, hold up, fellas. All together now. All together now. Let me see if I can find it.
What's her name?
Cosplay X Twerk on Instagram. I gotta tell you, she's so fine. I had to go, woo, woo, woo.
Cosplay X.
Cosplay X Twerk. Good God Almighty.
Yeah, you may have to find it because I'm on my phone.
What's up, Mr. Shug? To you. I will try, but Artisan said he's coming. You might as well. We gotta do a comic book panel at BlurCon. Come on now. Either it's outside or inside, we gotta host it. If I gotta go get a mic and we do it out there, we gonna do it. Even me working director of security, I'm gonna find some time because you know me, I'm gonna be working the less, I'm gonna be working the least, but getting the most money. Woo! Gotta love it. Hey, I earned that shit. That's like, hey, you know how many years of policing and security I had to do? I've been working police, security, and military for 23 fucking years. Actually, 24 years. Good God. I'm an OG before I was an OG. Yeah, you probably looking up cosplay X Turkey. You're like, oh, no wonder the commander's looking like this.
Right.
It feels good to be out on your porch. It's raining, and you're not wet. Whew. Shit, it feels good.
I say this though. If 54% of black men are not married and childless, there's not enough in our culture for them to be married to. It's not because
It,
they're not seeing moms and grandmas and aunties married to husbands.
well, to add on to your statement there, especially when the women outnumber us by 2 million more,
Yeah.
that tells you how much of a hot damn shame that it is. And before I start cooking and have everybody's last words, anybody want to give their last word?
Whenever you start promoting LeBron James, Chris Paul, and those type of relationships on TV, and I would put the responsibility even to Tyler Perry. He just bought BET. Whenever you start putting successful black marriages and how to work with each other, it won't be fixed. They keep promoting Aisha Curry and all this little fuck shit going on. It's gonna be the way it's gonna be.
There you go.
But media, news, that has a heavy influence, and I'm not going to blame no white supremacy for it for the way it is right now, because you got Tyler Perry and they made that his ass rich as motherfucker shitting on the black man to uplift the black woman.
You goddamn right. So you make the black man look like the man that he's supposed to be, you're gonna get the same fucking results. Whoo! Always a pleasure. Congratulations to my man Tan.
Thank
Listen
you,
to
man. Thank you.
the advice of the Faulkner man and happily married now. You keep
Appreciate it,
being
man.
blessed, my brother. Keep being blessed. I gotta do you like I do Snowman. Kiss the wife. Do me a favor. Go hug and kiss the wife and tell her the champ said hello. Woo!
Thank you, man. I'll holler at you.
All right, man. Kev, big Kev, what you got to say for last words?
No, man, just thanks for having me up. Again, I would just say incentives influence behavior, you know. So, you know, if you want more men to get married and start families, you got to give them a strong incentive to do so. Just expecting them just to sacrifice just because, well, it's just because you should, is a dumb argument, and it's guaranteed to do the exact opposite. So,
Thank you. You know, until next time, fellas and folks. Woo! And guess what? We are out.